Dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to first introduce myself. I am Jaime Rebelo, the Chief Inspector for Industry with the Safety, Health and Environment National Authority. As the regulator for workplace safety, health and environment, as well as radiation matters in Brunei Darussalam, SHENA remains steadfast in its belief and commitment that it can make a difference and ensure Brunei is a safe place to work and live, delivering against the aspirations of the nation under the Wawasan 2035 deliverable of quality of life. SHENA believes in raising HSE standards in the workplace and preventing work-related injuries and, in particular, fatalities. As part of our ongoing drive to reach out to our stakeholders, this month we have declared it to be a safety month. In conjunction with the World Day for Safety and Health at Work, we will this month deliver key messages as presentations to you covering the number of relevant safety-related topics. Today, I will be addressing the topic of chemical management in Brunei. Through the presentation, I will provide you with relevant details and a summary of the legal requirements, process management, labeling and procedures that should be considered if you are in any way dealing with chemicals. This presentation is directed at all workplaces and to principals, occupiers, employers, employees, self-employed persons, and anyone who has any involvement with the import, export, manufacture, mixing, storing, handling, supply, and disposal of chemicals. So what are chemicals? Chemical is a specific substance, is not defined in the Workplace Safety and Health Order. However, the term hazardous substance is found within the Workplace Safety and Health Order 2009, Part 2 of the 5th Schedule. Furthermore, a workplace is defined as any premise where a person is at work, is to work, or customarily works and includes a factory. There is a duty placed on occupiers, employers, self-employed persons, principals, and persons at work to ensure that they, so far as reasonably practicable, do everything within their power to ensure the safety of persons at their workplace, protect themselves, and ensure the workplace is safe in all respects. This is covered in the order, and you are advised to be familiar with such matters. Additionally, under Section 16, there are specific duties placed on manufacturers and suppliers of hazardous substances used within the workplace to take necessary precautions and to provide relevant safety information to ensure the proper use of hazardous substances, raise awareness of health hazards when using or handling hazardous substances, as well as information in the safe use of such substances. As mentioned earlier, a substantive list of hazardous substances is provided under Part 2, 5th Schedule. The 5th Schedule is subdivided into general hazardous substances and specific hazardous substances. You are guided to ensure applicability when deciding your need for compliance to the law. I would also like to bring your attention to the Workplace Safety and Health General Provision Regulations 2014. Within Regulation 40, there is a duty placed on every occupier to ensure persons at work are not exposed to toxic substances. The allowable exposure limits are further stated within the 5th Schedule. You may relate this to your workplace and identify whether such concerns exist, and then identify what protective measures should be introduced or are already in place. Under Regulation 41, it talks about a competent person being in control. Such a person would have adequate knowledge and experience in dealing with such hazardous substances and be aware of the dangers involved. Here as well, there is a duty to ensure that warning notices, precautionary measures, and arrangements for storage are safe and adequately protect persons at work within that location. Persons must be pre-warned of the nature of the hazards and precautions to be taken. Regulation 42 now also provides you details on duties to post suitable warning labels for chemicals. All chemical containers should be suitably labeled. The language should be understood by persons involved, and there must be warnings as well as precautionary information on handling requirements. Regulation 43 provides you with an insight on safety data sheets. In Brunei, some people use the terminology material safety data sheets, though under the Workplace Safety and Health Order, it is stated as safety data sheets. There is a duty on the occupier of the factory to obtain the safety data sheet for the chemical substance, review the information, and take all necessary precautions. Also, he is duty bound to provide such information to all persons at work in the factory who also could be potentially exposed. Details of the information that should be provided on a safety data sheet is covered within the regulation as well. When you talk about chemical management, you are advised to consider all aspects that define your work environment and where there is potential to cause harm to persons and the environment. Undertaking a health risk assessment defines your actions going forward and provides you with the necessary information to put in place suitable measures and procedures to ensure your workplace is safe. Keep your chemical inventories up to date and be fully in control of where chemicals are stored, used, the quantities being stored, and always have the safety data sheets available for easy access and use. Having a focal person in charge of this process who is considered competent and knowledgeable will help you ensure that there is adequate supervision and management of the process. Training of persons in the use of and handling of chemicals is of particular importance, and this also includes use of personal protective equipment. People must know what to use and when. Always be prepared to review your process and procedures periodically to ensure that there is continuous improvement and your approach to chemical management is current and in compliance with the law and good industry practices. Finally, if things go wrong, you must be prepared. Having a suitable and robust emergency response procedure, which includes trained people and equipment, is a must and will define how you remain prepared at all times. When people fail to take the necessary precautions, there is a lack of competent supervision on site and systems fail to protect individuals, things will go wrong and persons will be hurt. You must ask yourself, do I want this to happen to my loved ones or to persons I work with? I have earlier mentioned the need for labeling. Under chemical management, you are advised to follow good industry practices and ensure containers that are used for holding chemicals are suitably labeled. Persons should also know and understand what each label or sign means. Am I dealing with a corrosive, a flammable substance, or is this substance harmful to humans or dangerous to the environment? Ensuring you classify the chemical correctly ensures you protect people who use them. When dealing with chemicals or hazardous substances, you must also be aware of the hazards involved. Knowing that the substance is corrosive, that it can damage metals, cause severe skin burns and eye damage would ensure that persons using the substance are well advised to take precautions. The same goes for substances that can be fatal if swallowed or inhaled. Some substances are also harmful if they come in contact with skin. Some chemicals are known to cause cancer, while others can be very toxic to aquatic life. You must not take chances with chemicals and ensure the right labels and signs are used for the right chemicals. This slide gives you a simple overview to the concerns that you should consider when reviewing your preparedness within your workplace. Hazards cover health, physical, and environmental matters. Be aware and be prepared to take the necessary safety precautions and measures to protect all those involved. I have mentioned the need for suitable, accurate, and informative labeling. Industry practices show that persons who do take shortcuts and fail to follow procedure can have severe concerns, and the results will be quite catastrophic. By ensuring the right labeling in place on chemical containers, you remain in compliance with the law and are better prepared to deal with the chemical substance. The warnings are for all persons involved in the process, so ensure that the posted labels do not get damaged or covered. By allowing chemicals to be stored in unlabeled containment bags, bottles, or drums, you are risking the lives of others and placing persons in harm's way. When it comes to chemical management, it is your duty to ensure that you have identified all the potential hazards related to the hazardous substance. You could potentially be harmed by the substance, and what are the control measures that need to be in place, and who needs to know about them? Who needs to be trained? How effective are your control measures? These are some of the factors that help you understand the value of review and for further assessment of your processes. A timely reminder that your existing safety measures can be improved, and that a trained and experienced workforce also helps you to ensure your workplace remains safe in all respects. In this slide, I would like to bring to your attention the global approach for dealing with chemicals. The Global Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals, GHS, is a system developed by the United Nations for hazardous communication through harmonized provisions of standardized labels and safety data sheets. This approach has been taken to improve workers' and chemical users' health and safety, ensure environmental protection, facilitate trade, as well as reduce the need for testing and evaluation of chemicals. The diagram depicts the global harmonized system as a basis for chemical management. As a way forward, I would like to bring your attention to how you can support SHENA as we move forward to seek and verify compliance across all workplaces that are in some way involved with chemicals and the management of chemicals or hazardous substances. Review your work activities. Identify the chemicals, toxic and hazardous substances at your workplace or factory. Identify and risk assess the hazards involved with that chemical. Document hazards and health risk assessments and make these details known to those involved. Ensure all chemical storage containers and packaging is well and always labeled. Ensure safety data sheets are readily available and people know what to look for in them. Comply to the Global Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals at all times. Ensure you have a suitable emergency preparedness and management process in place. And finally, know that by doing the above, you would be ensuring your compliance to the workplace safety and health order. In conclusion, on behalf of SHENA, I seek your support to review your systems and procedures and identify areas of concern that may exist, and then put in place effective remedial action plans that can help you and help us all ensure Brunei is a safe place to work and live. Thank you.